Hey YouTube! I don't think I've done a video for about a week. So, anyway, getting back around to cycling through these, taking them into the studio with Cranking House. This is a BC Rich NJ Series Wave guitar, which you can't really see because I'm wearing a wrong coloured t-shirt. But it's an amazing shape. The Wave's a sort of weird one. It's one of the early BC Rich shapes, but it's the one that never really continued on. So I think originally sort of around about this time you had the Mockingbird, the Bitch, the Bitch. I think the Warlock was maybe out as well. Then you had the Wave, and you had one called a Stealth, which you see very few of because they're so stealthy. It's kind of a bit more. It's actually not. It's like a rounded version of that, I suppose you would say. And you see I've gone kind of pointy on my guitar wall this month. Yeah, so this is NJ Series, so Nagoya, Japan. There was a stage when they had that sort of logo. It's got the R like the American ones, but it kind of says BC and then Rich down the middle. This one's been modified a fair bit. It's a neck through, and the serial number is R7041, which I seem to remember looking these up, and although that one there is also an NJ Series, it's got a different serial number. I think it's a different factory. That's a bolt-on one. I have so I think they were kind of outsourcing to a few different companies. You can notice my tooth's falling out again. I will get that sorted at some point to sell some guitars, make some money for that though. Yeah, so this one I kind of went off this guitar because I used to have a pal, Jim. That's a couple of years ago when I bought this, and it was the most amazing pearly white colour, it was, but it had sort of screw holes in it because when I got it, I had a big metal. Someone had made a big metal faceplate which basically covered up the whole guitar because there was screw holes in it everywhere, and it was a bit ugly. And even though I had specifically said, Jim kept telling me, "Oh, you want to paint it?" I was like, "I'm not painting it. The colour is amazing. You can't not paint it." And he asked to borrow it because he was going to draw around it and make one the same shape. And then I went round to his house and the bastard had painted it magnolia, and it looked awful. So basically I fell out with him, haven't talked to him since. So it was a kind of bad vibe with this particular guitar, so I scraped off all the paint, but I couldn't quite get it back to its original pearly colour. So it's a sort of, someone called it a custard splat at some point. I think it was Anthony. I thought that was quite cool. Amazing top fret access because of this neck through join. So it didn't have the original pickups. I believe that these may have come with actual DiMarzio super distortions. Actually, when I bought this, the reason I saw it, there was a guy in Stirling and he was selling a DiMarzio super distortion. And I thought, I'm ready to buy it. And I was buying it, I saw this sitting in the corner. I was like, what is that? Because I've never seen a Wave before. I could tell immediately by looking at it though, it's an original BC Rich. There's something about the balance or something about BC Rich. The original ones, they just look right. You see quite a lot of copies, where people are trying to do a similar sort of thing, but they always look a bit wonky, whereas the BC Rich ones, there's something about it, whoever the artist is, just kind of had an eye for making it balance well. This bit here is cool. Yeah, so amazing. The pickups I got these on, these are the same ones that are in my JE Series Mockingbird, which isn't on the wall just now. So I'm not really sure what these are from. The guy who I bought these from said that they were from a £600 original BC Rich, like from the 80s, so it was probably an expensive one. This was also I'd imagine it probably had one of those quad bridges, which is a sort of it's like not like a Tunematic, it's like a 2-bridge post one that sits on it. But this one had at some point had a Caller on it, which was long gone, so it had a big horrible routing behind it. So I stuck a Washburn Wonder Bar on, basically because I thought it looked like a space station. It really is an amazing looking piece of engineering. These mad brass rollers here and brass rollers here, and the whole point of the Wonder Bar when it came out was that you could fit it to a flat top guitar and you didn't have to route anything. So basically you can stick it on and all you're left with, you've got like 2 screws here and 2 screws here, so all you have to do is stick 4 screws in and you've got a fully functioning tremolo on the top. Yeah, I bought that second hand. I'm not sure that I don't know. I'm calling it a wonder, but it actually says Washburn 2001 on it, and on the bottom I believe it says it's the Answer Bridge. So I don't know. For all intents and purposes, it looks exactly the same as a Wonder Bar though. There were also a lot of screw holes, a lot of drill holes for people that were. That's I think part of the reason the guy had made the big metal plate was to hide all the extra holes. So that was the holes that were already in it that I had to fill up. So what I've done is I've gone for volume, 3-way pickup, tone, a coil split for the neck, a coil split for the bridge. That's a Veritone just because I bought one to see what it was it did. I'm not really that impressed with it. And I put an output jack on the front there, although the original output jack's on the bottom. I just left both of them connected, so if you really wanted to use that one, you can use that one, but I prefer them on the top. It's also good when you're sitting down, you know, on a seat. It doesn't get in the way, but you can just use either one. Yeah, so clean, me Laney VC15, bridge pickup. So split, single coil, bridge pickup. And then single coil neck. Both are in single. Normally the something like a Wonder Bar would come with some sort of clamp up here, but I haven't bothered fitting it. I just figured it seems to hold tune reasonably well. So if I go on to using the Veri, so that's both in humbucker. See what the Veritone does. Basically, it just seems to be what a Veritone is just different tone capacitors all on it at full bung. Yeah, so I think originally when I had this wired up, I had it wired up as the Veritone was controlled by this tone control. So you know, whatever one of these tone caps you'd selected, you could control how much of it you use by using the tone control. But then I decided I sod it. So basically, that's just a standard tone control, which works as well as the Veritone. So you had it there, where it's like totally. There's virtually no treble of any description coming through, which I'm sure has got its uses. Like all BC Riches of this sort of era, did I say I think it's about 1982 or 1983? I think I looked up the catalogues, something like that. It's not really the heavy metal beast machine that they became well known for. I think when these were used, you know, they were, especially the original, the American ones, you know, they were meant for session guitarists and stuff, so they would kind of cover all the bases. Also, I think these are, pretty sure this is a Gibson scale, 24 3/4. Yeah, so Gibson scale and 24 frets, which you can actually get all the way up to the top. Even though I can't play up there. before just put on the rap pedal, which is obviously what I want to do with this. Just want to say that the Nagoya Japan BC Riches are amazing guitars. They're right in my sort of, I like my early 80s Japanese stuff, and they're that quality. Might not be that much in tune though. Yeah, I'll give that a wee tune up before I play anything big on it. But if you can find the NJ ones, they're amazing. There's also NJ, they changed, they were a wee bit sneaky. So the NJ series, I think they stopped making them about 84 or 85, something like that. And they continued making the NJ series, but what they did was they opened up an office in New Jersey. So on the back plates, the neck plate, they could now put BC Rich, P.O. Box, blah blah blah, New Jersey. So the NJ no longer stood for Nagoya Japan, it stood for New Jersey, and it didn't mean they were made in New Jersey, it meant they were made in Korea as the sort of the new top of the range. But they're not, I've never actually played one of the more modern NJs, but these are significantly better than a few that any other BC Riches I've come across. I've never actually played a real one, obviously, like an American built original, because they're like £5,000 or something like that. I think probably deservedly £5,000, or a couple of thousand anyway. But I've been out of the BC Riches I've had a few Warlock stuff. I've actually got a Warlock just now that I'm going to do up, but I've kept the Japanese ones because they were really good. Actually, I had a Warlock which looked stunning. It was a blue one a couple of years ago, sort of translucent blue, and it was what did they call it? It was a Diamond series, something like that. So it was a sort of later 80s, maybe 88, 87 one, and it was nothing compared to this one or that one or my Mockingbird. I'm talking shit. Rap pedal, which for me is what these should be. I took this into the studio with Cranking House, and it didn't perform well. We started with a sort of funny rehearsal in the studio because we had a couple of weeks off. And instead of starting off with Bad Moon Rising, which is dead easy, we started off with the hardest song we could do, and it was just, we didn't do very well, and this guitar wasn't cutting it for me. It just wasn't sounding right, so I moved on to, I think that's the guitar there I'm going to be using from now on in that band. But after another song, I realised that what had happened is the amp wasn't facing me, so the reason I couldn't hear it is because the amp was, not a mistake I'll ever make again. So basically, make sure your amp is pointing at you when you're in the studio so you can hear yourself. But I never actually went back onto it, so I'll have to take it in again and give it a proper go. It sounds great in here. It sounds fantastic. I really should have given it a better shot in the studio. think of a good rhythm track to put into the loop pedal so I can solo over the top of it. I've already been talking for 15 minutes, so this video is going to the end regardless. I'm just trying to think of something that's not going to be pure shit. Don't know what that is. Well, it was a terrible backing track I put in. Really difficult to play up high in this one, I think, see, because obviously it's 24 frets, so the last ones are dead close together, but also it's a Gibson scale with 24 frets, so obviously the neck's shorter to start with, so when you get up to 24th fret, they're really close together. It's like playing a mandolin. I'm a big, big lumpy bass player, so it's dead hard to actually. Wee bit upbend in the Wonder Bar as well. I'm not sure it's staying in tune though. Giving the guitar a fair go, it's not actually, these strings are elixirs, but they have been on it for a couple of years, and the guitar has never been played, so the strings aren't stretched in properly. And also I've got this wee niggle in my head that's saying because it's got like a tremolo, there's a like that, it's going to go out of tune a bit. the baritone maybe for your... See if you're right into jazz. Yeah, so if you're right into jazz, you're going to buy a guitar this shape, aren't you? But I think that's maybe what a baritone's for, and I think that's kind of why they've never really cottoned on, taken off. I believe this one is actually an R-Tech one that I bought, which is like a wee circuit board on it. The original ones would have been like a big, a rotary switch with actual components, like your tone caps, all different values, all soldered onto it. This one I think was an R-Tech one. It was just like, a circuit board with all the variable caps on it. So that never really took off. The Veritone thing, I don't think, it's more of a novelty. I don't know if anyone actually ever uses one. You do see them on 335s sometimes, just, I think because B.B. King had one, for the jazz. The Wonder Bar never really took off either, because I don't know when they stopped making them, sort of mid-80s I think. Obviously Floyd Rose were the winner in the Calar versus Floyd Rose trem systems and the Wonder, so that'd be like your VHS and your Betamax, and then these would be like your VCS 2000. I remember my uncle had the thing, and it was like these videotapes that were slightly bigger than a VHS, but they were two-sided, and I think they recorded for like hours and hours on a tape. It was a really crazy looking device that it didn't even make it into the VHS versus Betamax war. So that's what the Wonder Bar is. So I don't think you'll get one of them made past the 80s. And this shape, although there is a guy called, there's a BC Rich, they still make it, or they have made it since, something Trent Eisner or something like that, from some heavy metal band, I don't know who they are. There is one model of Wave that you can still get, but it's got like spikes here and here. I think it's not as smooth as this one. This would be the similar shape to the original Wave, I think. But I mean, I think this shape is just fantastic. It's just so obviously right looking. So this is one of my criminally underplayed guitars, so I'm going to play it a bit more, kind of just getting back used to it again. It's got a really nice neck on it, kind of like a Les Paul neck or something like that. And I like the painted necks as well. And it's got its own BC Rich branded tuners, which I'd imagine are probably Goto, like what most of the Japanese stuff was at that point. Yeah, 23.5 minutes of talking Kish. Yeah, I'm building another guitar this afternoon, so I thought I'd do this video first. I'm going to try and put 6. I've got an interesting Stratocaster wiring I've not tried before. It's going to be 6 single coils, like it's basically 2 sets, and I'm going to have a 5-way switch for each set of 3, and then have a master, like a switch like this, rhythm treble switch. Just choose whether you're listening to the neck 3 pickups or the bridge 3 pickups or both, and then you can set it so it'll be like about 1 billion combinations. And I'll flip my humbucker, my triple bucker switch in there as well, which will make it an even more stupid number of combinations. But I haven't done anything completely mad for a while, so that's going to be my one. I'll probably paint it iron brew colour. Rock and roll!